In terms of the construction, let's start with the neck. To make the neck, I've used two tissue boxes, glued them together, and attached it to this plastic box. The tissue boxes are wrapped around in construction paper. I've drawn a fretboard which further extends to the main section. There are also tuning pegs, and to somewhat design the guitar, I've drawn dots which are meant to represent nodes. You'll learn what those are later in the video. In terms of the main section, there is a metallic cookie box which is somewhat wrapped by elastic bands, and those are meant to represent the strings on a guitar. There is a Nike tissue box on the bottom to raise this box, and there's some padding here and here so that when I try to play the guitar, the cookie box won't fall over. There's two sides to this. Let's start with the first. As I pluck the string or the rubber band, the band oscillates at its natural frequency, and consequently, pulses are created. These pulses move in the opposite direction, but then they meet certain boundaries called fixed ends or nodes. Due to fixed end reflection, they become inverted and come back to where the string was plucked. These inverted pulses interfere with each other, and at some frequency, a unique condition called standing waves are produced. In standing waves, there is zero net energy transfer, and you can only see the motion of the particles moving up and down rather than the wave. As seen on the two images, the particles that move up and down are called antinodes, and the particles that remain fixed are called nodes. The answer to that question involves the transfer of energy from one place to another. As the guitar is plucked, the energy propagates towards nearby air molecules, which also begin to vibrate. The repeated back and forth vibrations of the air molecules creates a pressure wave or a longitudinal wave that move from the string to people's ears. In such a wave, there are high pressure areas in the space of the air molecules called compressions and low pressure areas called rarefactions. These two pressure areas repeat, and this pattern is known as the sound wave. If you look at the diagram above, it's also interesting to note that although the energy is traveling from the guitar to the ear, the particles of the medium themselves, the air molecules, temporarily move right and back to its place, since there's only a disturbance due to the energy propagation. Lastly, you may have noticed that in my demonstration, there were different sounds. This is due to the differences in the natural frequencies, which in this case were modified via the stiffness in the strings and changing the length of the strings, thereby changing the wavelengths.